Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. Let me take a little of that out of there. Welcome to JJ's PC Build. You know it is with you right here. If you're first time here, make sure you subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, welcome to the family. Welcome to JJ's PC Builds. And my veteran subscribers, as always, much love to you for all that you do helping support the channel. Hello, Machine. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Obviously, you guys noticed that I've made some changes. I've made quite a few changes to the last time and last week we did this live stream. I just want to tell you the changes that I made. One, microphone. And if you look in the background behind me, it's all fuzzy. That's because of the new program that I just downloaded that was able to help me out and kind of make things a little bit right. So now I'm making my videos a little bit better this time. But this is going to be the talk about it. And we're gonna dive into it, and you know what's gonna happen?
We're gonna party.
That's right, we're gonna party. So let's start off with what I discovered, and that is the new app Nvidia come out with, the beta version. So what I did was I downloaded it. I was surfing through it just a little bit, not much, because I want to take you all along with me when I go to surf through there. From what I've seen, how can I say this? The app itself is awesome. The most recent drivers that I've downloaded, and I'm going to say to y'all about this: update your drivers and your software with Nvidia, the GeForce Experience. Update everything before you decide to put this app in. A fresh install? No. You don't need to do a fresh install. I have not fresh installed the drivers for my GPU ever since I first got it. I've never used nvinstall, DDU, or whatever and uninstalled the drivers in the software. I carried it all this time. All this time. And you're asking me, well, why did you do that? Why didn't you clean it up? I found that every time I did that, got a scratch on my head. Every time I did that, I wanted to tell y'all, make sure you got your drink and snacks, by the way. And if you want to know what I'm drinking right now, Venom. That's what I'm drinking right now. So, reason why I have not cleaned up my drivers is because I didn't feel the need to. Every time I go to put a fresh install in, Microsoft Windows would turn around and try to reinstall their drivers. So I got tired of it. So I just thought to myself, with this GPU, I'm going to carry it all the way through. All the way through. That means I'm not going to fresh install any of the drivers. I'm just going to update. And I'm going to update. And that's pretty much what I did. Until recently, which I got the 551.61 in my computer before I put the app in my computer. So where the app is, that's where I'm going to take you all along with me. and I'm going to show you where to download it from. So let's go ahead and go to the action screen. And we're going to take and bring up Google Chrome. Here we go. Now, what you're going to type in is you're going to want to type Nvidia app. And you're going to want to click on this that says download Nvidia app for gamers and creators. And you're going to want to come right here where it says download the beta. I already downloaded it and already installed it, but it's right here. But if I were you, I would look through, and when you go to install it, the game ready drivers is what you want to use, not the studio drivers. I know everybody's going to say, well, why don't you do the studio drivers? Well, the thing is this. If you're gaming, I found that right here is a lot better than right here. Because this automatically gives you this. So you don't need to do both. You could do this one right here using the game ready drivers, which you're going to want to do, which I recommend. You don't need this because when you start to install the game ready drivers, you automatically get that. So there's no sense of getting this when you already can get this. Now, how I got the studio stuff is I'll show you when we go inside the app and we experiment with it. So let's go ahead. I closed out of it. Let's go ahead and just go into the app. And see what they got cooking. Now I'm going to say this. They did state that you don't have to log into this. You can choose not to log in. I chose to log in. For better the sake, it doesn't take but a couple minutes to, create yourself a new login and save it all to your computer and just log in. So I would recommend you do that because it seems like you get more than less. So, okay, so let's go ahead and see what this app is all about. And as you can see, I got right down here in the home page, right down here. This tells me what I already got the Nvidia broadcast. I didn't get this yet. I didn't get this yet. And I didn't get this yet. Frame view I got. I don't got GeForce Now because I don't play on, their website. I play on Steam. So I didn't feel that I wanted to do the GeForce Now right now, but later on I might decide, since I've seen a lot of positive stuff on GeForce Now, that you can do a lot more than less. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. iCat and Canvas and Omniverse. I'm going to learn what Omniverse is, before I decide to install it to my PC, because I'm not sure if I'm really going to be ready for something like that just yet. So we'll see. You never know. I might want to do that sooner or later, but from what I see with this, is not a bad deal. So Now we went through the home page, and this is where you can get all the new stuff Nvidia's talking about right here. So do keep that in mind. Now the drivers right here will tell you what driver you have. And right here I have the 551.61 released the 21st, 2024. Right here. I'm sorry about the cursor being so small. I would have to kind of, make the screen about 200 times the size for the cursor to be bigger. I don't know why they did that. Maybe there's something that can be fixed in the long run when it comes to OBS. Maybe OBS can, capture the screen a little bit better. But my mouse cursor is about this big. It's big on my screen. So I don't know why it's very small on OBS. We'll figure it out. We'll get it fixed and we'll move along. Okay, so this right here tells you the game ready support. It's the Nightingale, the DLSS 3 and reflex support. Supports the RTX HDR and the new AI powered Nvidia app, which I have. Freestyle filter that seamlessly adds HDR, which HDR is high dynamic range, to SDR, which is standard dynamic range in games. Okay, if you have an HDR monitor, you're going to benefit from this app, which I have an SDR monitors, but I'm going to change that. In time, I'm going to get me an HDR monitors. So I have them here, 1440p HDR. Because if I don't like 1440p, I could always go down to 1080p. And hopefully you all can hear me. Machine, can you hear me out there? Just let me know if you can or can't. Unless I'm sitting here talking to myself. I hope not. Does it sound better than when I had my other microphone? Was my other microphone better than this one or no? Four new optimal settings profiles for Grand Blue, Fantasy, Relink, Nightingale, Pacific Drive, Skull and Bones, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Siege. Still stability issues with the Vulcan, but if you use DirectX, Vulcan ain't really going to matter much. So, yep, it looks like this is going to be a really good, it's a good start. Yeah, I got you. That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping, I'm going to ask you another question. Did you watch the video I just made? Did I make it crazy enough?
Like I slipped in this chat with my voice. Guess what? I'm the nightmare. Ha 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 ha.
You gotta love that. I mean, give the man an applause right now, Come on, give me some kind of credit here. Well, yeah, that's the thing. I'm trying something new. I am trying something different. Now having this program plus this microphone And with OBS, it's brought new life to this channel. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This is what I've been waiting for all this time. I mean, now I can be like a big time YouTuber, well, somewhat big time, but we're still trying to get to 500, I mean, we're trying. Hopefully everybody knows that we're building slowly but surely, but with all these new programs that are being implemented, and once I get to learning the AI technology, which I am not going to take and mimic myself. I am me, not AI. If I had a little AI buddy, that'd be a different story. Then I can have a little AI buddy and we'll have a little bit of fun. But, that's in time. We'll work on that. But anyway, let's go to the graphics settings. All your games, you can do individually if you want to do the graphics settings. Like I got OBS here, I got the Eve, I got Twitch. You can do, believe it or not, OBS and Twitch show up here too. And I was shocked. And then you got the Naraka, Blade Point. I want to give that a try too, because look, all this right here, look, all these game settings. You can change make a lot of changes to the game settings if you want to, but I think that's pretty cool. Or you can go over to the global settings, which is pretty easy and simple to go through. This redeem, I'm still trying to work out. I'm still trying to figure this out, because when I go to the Activision site, it's asking me for a code. Maybe y'all can help me out with that and let me know what they mean by a code. But I don't know if they telling me that I can get this game for free on GeForce. Probably. And probably I need to get a code for it in order to get the Activision code. But anyway, you know how that goes. That's part of the redeem. And go right here to the settings. They got the Nvidia overlay where you can hit, was it Alt-Z? That's what it is, Alt-Z. And then it brings up the overlay, which I can't bring it up to you guys because it's on my other screen. Oh my goodness. Which I'm going to hit the settings. I'm going to see if I can move it. Or heads up display. Let me see, vertical layout. I want to see if I can put it on the second screen. No, I guess the only way that's going to work is if I switch screens. Let me see if I can switch screens. Nope. Let's see. Display settings. Let's see. Make that there. Let's see if that helps. Leave that open in case it doesn't. Okay, so we hit Alt-Z. There we go. I was able to show you guys. It's got a record button. It's got instant replay. It's got screenshot. It'd be cool. You can do screenshots too. It's got highlights. game filters, microphone, statistics, and so on. And you just hit the X right here, and it goes bye-bye. Okay, now let me switch my screens back to where they were in the beginning. So let me go to the first one, and then make that my main display. Okay, that puts everything back to normal. So as you can see, you got this is your this gives your operating system, your graphics card, your drivers. You know, you can see I'm at Windows 10 Pro. I think they said something about that this was supposed to be for Windows 11. Quote me if I'm wrong about that. I thought I heard that it was supposed to be for Windows 11. It's operating off of Windows 10. I don't get it. I really don't. Not unless there's extra programs that you can get on Windows 11 with it. That might be it too. So, but you got your notifications. You can turn them on and off. If you want driver updates, you can turn it on and off. I would leave that on if I were you. And where it says available rewards, I turned mine off because I know they don't, it's not going to be like that. And right here, you got the required data, configuration, performance, and data usage, and error and crashes data. Make sure you have those checked. You can uncheck them, but I leave them checked because it sends that information back to Nvidia, letting them know that there's a problem. Maybe there's a solution they can come up with to solve it. So if they don't know what's going on, they can't fix the problem. So just letting you know that. And that's pretty much it for this. There's pretty much not much more you can do with it. But you got Omniverse. I hear everybody talking about Omniverse. Maybe I'll give it a try sooner or later. And this Canvas and this iCat, and see what it's all about. Oh, you did not hear the other way? Can you hear me now, though? Hopefully you can hear me. Let me check. Speakers V8, microphones V8. Camera's working. Oh, okay. It might be because I switched to a different monitor. That's probably what happened, and it didn't follow the driver series. So that could be it too. My bad. I have to figure that out too. That'll be something I have to figure out. But anyway, that's pretty much everything with Nvidia, other than let's see, Nvidia control panel. Let's see. It's still the basic same control panel, but from what I'm hearing on that is that Nvidia wants to take the Nvidia control panel and incorporate it all the way into the app. Everybody says, oh, that's not a great idea to have it into that app and everything else. Well, you know what? AMD does it, and nobody complains about it. They don't have a separate control panel for their Adrenaline. They got everything built into their Adrenaline. I don't see why Nvidia doesn't do the same. And also, too, if they build into where you can, undervolt and overclock your GPU, I don't see why that's a bad thing, because AMD Adrenaline does it. You know, it just to me, it doesn't make sense. Nvidia's waited all these years to do something like this. I mean, many of years. And now they're starting to do it, which I hope they put in, you know, the where you can control your GPU a lot better. Like you can overclock it or undervolt it. That would be cool. Like you do with MSI Afterburner, which I would think it'd be even better. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I downloaded it. I'm running it right now. I am running it right now. I am not having any problems. And I usually never, ever download a beta program until today. I took enough trust in Nvidia, enough trust to tell you the program's working fine. As long as you're updated to the most recent drivers for your GPU, and you go to download the app, use your game-ready drivers, and start building and installing everything from there. But that's my opinion, the way I would do it, and I would not even clear out the existing drivers. I would suggest you leave everything in place and you just install the app over the top of the newest drivers. Everybody's going to tell you, oh, you shouldn't do that. That's a bad thing to do. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh, it makes your GPU slower and everything else. That's bullshit. By overlapping what's there and improving it, all it's doing is upgrading. That's what it's doing. It's upgrading. I can see if you're going from AMD to Intel, that I can see you need to clean your drivers out for. But if you're staying on the AMD platform, I've already went from the B450 motherboard to the B550 motherboard. Same M.2 drive. All I made sure is that I can log into the system without having to log into the system. When I went from B450 to B550, the TPM expires on the B450. Because you're putting in the new B550, your login screen changes when you go to upgrade to the next drivers. So you want to make sure going from point A to point B that on your current motherboard, you want to be in local and not logged into Microsoft. You want to be in local and make sure that your login screen is turned off. So when you start your computer, it automatically goes into Windows with no login screen. And then, after you know you can do that, then you can take that hard drive and put it into your new motherboard. And you don't have to worry about the TPM. If it pops up and says there's a TPM issue, it's going to be reset, just click OK. As long as you know you can log in without having to log in with the password, you can get into your motherboard and your processor and your hard drive and all that, blah, blah, blah. The only thing you need to update is logging back into Microsoft to do the update and that's it. Then your TPM is reset, fully reset. So just to let you know that there is a little bit, and that's the reason why some people say, oh, well, I just don't want to go through all that headache just to, to go from one motherboard to the next. I'm like, to each is their own. I've already learned that I don't need to change my operating system or anything else to go to the next level. Oh, sorry. I had an ear itch. Now, if I want to go up to the 600 series motherboard, 700 series, 800 series in AMD, all I got to do is make sure my login screen is turned off. There's a command you can use to go in the command.com, and you can turn it off in the command.com. They kind of took that feature away to where you can do it in the control panel for your Windows. They kind of took that away from you. So you got to do the next best thing. There's plenty of articles out there that you can do it on. We'll touch on it on another video. I'll I'll get something set up, and that's in the future, and show you how to turn off the password for your login screen, so this way you can move forward and go to that next level and go to your new motherboard without having to install Windows over again. That puts a lot of hurt onto your your SSD drives, and that kind of puts a lot of strain onto your SSD drive, going from reinstall to reinstall and reinstall. You only get you might get close to about 25 to 30 times of reinstalls before it starts impacting your solid state drives. So I'd rather not impact mine and have mine last a lot longer. This one that I got now, that I'm using in this computer, is the same one I used in my B450 with my 5600G. Same one. All I did is what I told you. I figured that out along the way. So, but now with me having the 40 series graphics card from Nvidia, the RTX 4070, having this program right here is a blessing. Especially with, as you can see how the videos look now compared to the way they looked back then. I still got a couple more things I'm going to have to tweak on for the videos, for my picture and everything else, and get it looking more crisp and everything else. That's usually, there's in the software, you got to make certain little settings, but I'll work on it. It's not my camera. I found out it's not my camera. That's the problem. It's how my settings are. That's the problem. But I will get them fixed. So tell me, what do you all think about the Nvidia app? Is this something you're going to want to do? I can see Machine's already going to say, well, I'm going to download it, which you already said that, but I can tell you, I'm very impressed with it. Especially with the creator side. You know. Because I'll show you all why. Let's see. Let's pull this up. Let's do this. All right. Okay, we'll go back to the action screen really quick. Now, you all can see me right here. Right here. I can blur the background all the way down. I can take it off. I can move it up. And boom, it's gone. I can take my big head and make it bigger and make it bigger and make it bigger and move it all the way down and make it smaller and make it bigger. This is what I wanted my camera to do in the first place. Being able to move the zoom in and out. That's what I wanted it to do in the first place. So that's crazy, man. But I like the program. I really do. That's a blessing in my book. Oh, I think I made my head too big. Let me go backwards. There we go. Now my head ain't too big. Either that or my camera's not in right focus, but yeah. No, I'm using both. Machine. I'm using OBS. I'm using OBS right now. And I'll show you. We'll go back to the action screen. See, I'm using OBS right now. Yep. As you can see. So. Let me move back to the other screen. There. As you can see. Watch the screen. It'll change. See? Using OBS. There we go. Let's see. I need to download this and mess with it. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You need to mess around with it. There's so much you can do with it. It's insane. It's better than nothing we had before. Yeah, it is. I agree. I agree. So you are using this instead of OBS. No, I'm using, like I told you, I'm using both. Can you use just Nvidia app to stream with? Probably. You probably can. GeForce Experience would allow you to do that. You can record and you can stream. If you set it up for YouTube, yes. Yeah, it would allow you to do so. This new one, I would imagine so. I'm just not. What I'm invested into right now is I have OBS set up perfectly. So by adding this app in and having it filter through to where I can control the background and control the zoom of this actually gives me a couple extra tools that I could use to make my videos better. So with having the Nvidia Studio, or the Nvidia Broadcast, it's a blessing. Hey, MTBK, good to see you, man. Does this work like MSI Afterburner? Not yet. They don't have all the tools MSI Afterburner has, but they do have the overlay. You can do an overlay, but you'll have to set it up. if you want a screen overlay, you can do that and set it up. But I still, the way MSI Afterburner has theirs, I kind of like the overlay better with theirs so far. But they are working on a new overlay for Nvidia, the new app. They are working on a new overlay from what I'm hearing. What looks great there, MTBK? Question mark. What looks great? Inquiring minds want to know.
MTBK, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about, Willis?
What are you talking about, Willis? I love that sound. I love that sound device. I do. I really do. This thing right here. I love playing around with this. This has been like an awesome just thing here, you know. I've been messing around with it quite a bit. Oh, the video quality? Yeah. I mean, I did notice that too. I mean, for sure. You notice how the background, when it's gone, my video quality comes up. I mean, it's sick. And with this new microphone here, you know, I feel like I'm in I feel like I spent $1 million, but I didn't. And so far, this right here, just to stream to YouTube, it's only $150. 100 for the camera, 40 to 50 for the microphone, the whole setup and everything. $150. Boom, done. Oh, you like the sound, huh? Yeah. If you smell what the rock is cooking. Now you look like a tech tuber. Do I? Am I like a VTuber to where you got, what do they call it, venereal tuber? No, I hope I'm not a venereal tuber now. Come on, man. Really? That's what I think it means. The VTuber, venereal tuber. No, I ain't no venereal tuber. I know a thing. I like to spread like a venereal disease, you know, where everybody, you know, subscribes to the channel. Yeah. More or less like this.
Make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you tell Jay on JJ's PC Builds he is the awesomest tuber.
There we go. I threw that in there really quick. Virtual tuber. Okay, not venereal tuber. I thought that's what it meant, venereal tuber. Oh, okay, I got you. Oh, you're going to love this. Watch this.
Guess what? I got it. Somebody got my voice. Oh my god. Oh, hurt me. No, leave me alone. Don't hurt me.
Oh my goodness. You see how that can just happen like that? I mean, for $40, man, I can't beat this. This is like, I'm like, oh my God. When I first tried to set it up, I ran into some hiccups. And I'm trying to figure out, what did I do wrong? And I forgot to turn up one of the volume buttons. Ugh, the frustration. But I had to, I read the directions, I read them twice, and I figured out what it was, and now I moved on. So, not too bad, not too bad. So, how is everybody doing today? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if I made myself better instead of worse. I mean, I upgraded my computer, which I got to do it again because I know y'all are going to say, well, you should be on the AM5 series, everybody, including Jay. Well, you know, Jay kind of forgets, to be on like, the newest series. But what people don't understand, it's not so much the processor is the total gimme for your PC. Your GPU is as well. Look, I could stay on AM4 series for next 5 years. So, it's not a bad platform. But I am impressed with Nvidia. You know what? This new app just impressed me. I swear to God, this new app impressed me. Yeah, Machine, you're right. I have a lot more options now than I did before. You gotta remember, let me find it. Oh, let me reach behind here. Let me see if I can find it. Look. This right here has done its job. Okay. This here is 12 years old. It's done its job. Looks like a little dinky, but, it's done its job. So, I give it credit where credit's due. I can't complain about it. I really can't. Just like that. Cannot beat that. Just like Final Fantasy. Yeah. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake. See, now you guys got me all hyped up and excited. Oh my God. You did your homework. Well, thank you. I tried to, at least. No doubt about that. And the program is good. Oh, yeah. I mean, I was skeptical of putting the program into my PC. I was going to what if it screws everything up and I can't do a live stream today? And I'm thinking to myself, bite my fingers. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? I'm like, is it going to work? So, at least I know it works. And that was my big discussion for today. I'd gone off the rails a little bit about other things, but, I'm hearing also, too, a lot of YouTubers that were sitting there saying, oh, they said back in, a couple months ago, AMD's the shiz and everything else, and now you see them, they're climbing back over to Nvidia because Nvidia come up with something better than AMD did. Now, I'm going to tell you, they might not have the total benchmarking capabilities of putting it in for your, overclocking and undervolting for your GPU, but the programs that they do have in their app now, I'm happy with it. I'm really happy with it. So, the matter of control, you got plenty of control with your programming. I'm happy with it. Trust me. Any improvements they make now, it's going to be even better. So, I just let my game Auto fight. So is farming for food. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. So you just let it roll. At least all of this work and effort leads to something massive improvements. Yeah, it does. I do agree with that, and I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping everybody comes and joins us on Discord. I mean, I left it open to the fact that, even the residents on Discord for our channel, for our Discord, they could even, give somebody a link to go to the channel. I think I left it open. Well, if I didn't, then we'll work on it. And, we'll start there. But there are more things I really want to do. And if YouTube keeps acting like a butthead, I might have to resort to going to Twitch. And that's what I might be thinking about doing. Having YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And whichever one builds the fastest, that's what I'm going to focus on. So, mind mentioning the rules I got told as well. What rules? What rules did I tell you? No swearing? Just in case there's kids on the channel? Keep it clean? That's it? What rules? It's common sense. If there's going to be somebody that's, under the age of 18 that's going to be like 16 or 17 that's on the channel, guys, keep it clean. That's all I ask. Have a little respect. I'm a father of 2 boys. So, I just keep that family orientation right there for you. Just to let you know, just keep it clean. I know once in a while I'll slip with the word, here or there, but that's here or there. But, to constantly do it all the time, that's too much. Yep. Basically, try to keep it as clean as you can. That's what makes the channel even more grown up and makes the kids want to come over, even if they're 16 or 17. I don't mind. They can learn something. Especially if they want to take and build their own PC that they could use for college or whatever. It's a benefit for them as well. Exactly. You said it right there. We can help each other. Said it right there. Somebody gets stuck on a problem. I'm not the only one that could help you in Discord. There are many other builders that are in Discord that can help you just as much as me. So that's how you have to look at it. And you're right, we can help each other. So, of course. Boy, that drink's kicking today. MTBK. Guess what drink I got? Right there. Venom. It's better than the Intel snake bite that's going on. That's new AMD drink is called Venom. Information is very, and I want to bring this up too. With the information in the information world, trying to get the correct information has been really pulling fingernails. But getting somebody to give you the correct information is like gold. And if they give it to you for free, run with it. I haven't asked anybody for no money. It'd be nice if some of these big companies would take and say, okay, well then, we're going to help you build your channel, but they don't. They're only in it for themselves. I know some other channels, when they started their channel, they would only have like 300 or 400 subscribers. And, you got these companies that wanted you to do reviews, and they just come out of the woodwork after 300 or 400 subscribers. Now, you got to have at least 2 to 3 million in order for them to recognize you. It sucks. I drank a lot of water today. Oh, so you left the coffee alone? You didn't drink no coffee today? Oh my goodness.
Jay.
What do you want?
I want to tell your subscribers something, Jay.
What do you want to tell them?
Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel.
Oh, so that's the only thing you got to tell them? I got this new voice in my head.
Yes, Jay. That's all I got to say.
Well, about damn time. Now get out of my head. Leave me alone.
Never, Jay.
Damn, I'm stuck. Just a little bit of laughter. See how that works? There is a saying, if someone is good at something, it doesn't need to be for free. So the effort pays time after time. De Bauer, Germany, said he worked very hard for the cash. Look, I ain't no slouch, man. I ain't no slouch, I'll tell you that much. I've worked hard all my life. And I got a bad deal when I started going down on my medical started taking me down. So now I know where they got the voice actors for all those movies, monsters and game monsters. Well, they got them somewhere, man. They got it on a chip right here on my sound card. That's what they call it. The sound card. I thought I had a sound card built onto my motherboard, but obviously this is a new sound card. They should have said it's the sound mixer. That's what they should have said it was, but they put the sound card. And I'm not lying neither. Look. This right there. The sound card. That's what they called it, man. The sound card. Yeah, I know it's all fake. I know it's all fake. It's all good. I mean, it's not like you read the word live. Well, I'm talking live. Hopefully. I'm not talking live. You all can't hear me. I put a little echo in the voice. I took out some of the background noise. Just in case. Oh, the alien invasion. Fake, man. Yeah, I know.
The alien invasion. Do 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 do. The alien invasion.
invading us. Yeah, I hear you, man. It's the invasion of the body snatchers. I saw that movie when it first came out on the big screen. I was like, damn. They all snatching up bodies. Don't snatch up mine. They might not like mine, but anyway, you know how that goes. Anyway. That must be epic using RTX voice, or what is it called? They can cancel out the hammers and vacuum cleaners. Yeah, they could. But I'm going to tell you, for what I got right here, this is going to last me quite a while and have a lot of laughs doing a lot of videos. So I'm happy with the way it is. There was a guy that was hammering on his desk. Okay. And hammering to show the good filtering works. Well, I ain't got that great at filtering. But it works. Because what you would have heard is this fan that's up here, that's on the ceiling, called the ceiling fan. And you would hear the fan that's all the way on the other side of on the other side of the room, which is my floor fan. But at least you can't hear the computer. And that's got six fans. It did have, well, no, it's got 8. You got 2 more at the bottom there, but. Oh yeah, this will be fun. Of course, it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast. Now, what's come about is the 5090, the RTX 5090. That's what's coming about. That's what's coming up. There's a lot of squawk about it being like 30% faster than the regular RTX 4090. Somewhere in there. 30, 50%, somewhere in there. My personal ambience is too loud. I focus on your voice. Okay, cool. No way a fan on the ceiling is called a ceiling fan. Well, what do you want it to be called? A floor fan? Come on, machine. Y'all know how it goes. But like I said, they got leaks and rumors right now. Leaks and rumors that there's not going to be an AD104, which, you know, that's the 4070 and the 4070 Ti currently on the Ada Lovelace. But that's just a leak. It's not to mean that it's not going to be there. It just might be that everybody's overlooking the AD104. Maybe they don't want to do the 70 series anymore. You know. Oh, you just made coffee and you're not even sharing. Man. Oh, man. You're going to get shot, man. See? Told you. Just a joke. Don't take it serious. You know, not unless you start dancing. You never know. So, you guys wanted me to be more fun. Now I got a tool. I'm being more fun. I got something stuck in my face. You know, right here. Yeah, it's stuck in my face. I made the first effort to restructuring what's going to happen here. So, what else did I say today, guys? You remember I said something earlier yet about, oh yeah, I heard another rumor as well that Microsoft is going to force everybody to go to Windows 11. I don't know where I've seen it yesterday, but I can't remember where. But what they're saying is that Microsoft's going to force everybody from Windows 10 to Windows 11. I guess they're going to do the manual update like they've been trying to do for the last year on my computer, which I've been hitting no, no, no. So they might do it with us on Windows 10 to go to Windows 11. You know, the ones that can upgrade, not the ones that can't. The only ones that can upgrade. That's going to take a specific motherboard with the specific processors. And I still think that's a farce. They shouldn't be doing that. So, oh, what are you tanking out in, man? One versus one? One-on-one? MTBK? What are you talking about? Inquiring minds want to know. What's up, man? Talk to me. What you doing? But that's another thing that was up on my plate too. I wanted to talk to you guys about. Microsoft's got, something crazy going to be happening sooner or later again. Let's see. Let's pull up. My screen keep moving. Wow. Yeah, my screen keeps moving. Look. I'm moving my head. Look at this shit. Look at this. Whoa. Y'all see that? Here. Y'all seeing this? I'm not touching nothing and the screen is moving. Oh my God. That is freaky. And where's the coffee emoticon smiley? I just got Randy Savage in my mind, Macho Man. He was always a cup of coffee man. I guess I will not get shot. If it sounds fair. Oh, nice. The camera follows. That is work well done. Dude, I'm going to tell you, I'm like, what I'm seeing over here, yeah. That is freaky. That's that new AI stuff. I'm just testing it out. I'm just testing it out and see what it's about. Oh, ear scratching again. But yeah, that is cool as that's cool as can be. And if it can, and if the cam does not move, they show a part of what cam records. Great. Yeah. I mean, dude, I didn't even know this app did that. This is not a part of OBS. This is Nvidia. This is all Nvidia. Way it works is it's going from my camera to Nvidia, the Nvidia app, the broadcaster, to OBS, and then it's going out to you all. So whatever AI programming they put on that broadcaster, I'm telling you, my camera now follows me and it's not even moving. My camera is stationary. This app is wild. This is something that's, people haven't looked into yet. See, if they would have subscribed to my channel, they would have seen this. Maybe they're going to have to subscribe to somebody else's channel to see it now. Or they're going to watch mine and they're going to say, wow, he learned all that. I'm like, yeah, hello. Anybody home? I mean, it's obvious. Ugh. But, I'm just, another thing I want to talk to you guys about is this, okay? Now, from where I started a long time ago, back in the early 80s, you didn't have all this kind of technology. Trust me. There is nothing like this. Okay? Especially when they came out with the internet for the first damn time. I'm sitting here telling myself on dial-up, okay, got to dial a number. Ding, 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 ding. And then the problem is somebody calls you on that phone, disconnected. I was like, oh my God. You imagine that? You're playing the game and guess what? Boom. Somebody calls you. And then you lift up the phone. Did you really have to call me? They didn't need to call me. Just ask for a cup of sugar. So, oh my God, telling you. So, let's see. Get a hoodie or a bat and a headset on top of that. Give streaming 99. I have to think about that, man. I have to look into that. But it's kind of cool that the camera is following your face. Look. Look at this. The camera's actually following my face. Can you believe that? I think that's pretty cool. Yep, the old days, man, the old days. See, people don't understand. They think the old days were just the old days and nobody knew nothing back in the old days. Which, FPS back then wasn't a thing. The reason why FPS wasn't a thing is because with Windows 95, we had to make sure our computer didn't crash playing the game. to even see an FPS. So, back then, most of your computers were running off of integrated graphics. So, especially if it was 8-bit or 16-bit. That's even something too, you know. Let's see. It's 12:13. Wow. Time flies. We already went through the first hour. Oh, looks like we're getting down to the second hour. And after that, you never know. But from let me go back to what I was doing. I was attempting to check out something really quick. Yeah, Furmark. If you get Furmark, they released a new platform. Just to let you know. AMD come out with the 8700 GE, a 35-watt processor, which I have no idea what that's going to be doing. And it looks like Intel's still struggling to get up to 15th gen. Microsoft's coming out with the digital Xbox series. That seems to be pretty cool. Y'all heard me, right? Digital Xbox series. Today it is mostly TEA temporal analyzing. I like that if it's well made, but the depth of field, blurry textures, forcing you to watch somewhere can be very annoying to a group of people. Yeah, but the stuff that's behind me, man, if I black everything out, it's going to be the same thing, but you're not going to see my shirt that well or the clothes that I wear. So me blacking everything out behind me, you know, if you're talking about that, but if you're not, then we're in a totally different ball game there. So, but yeah, do I see anything happening? Yep, I do see stuff happening. Oh, Computex. Yeah. Computex 2024, June the 3rd. June the 3rd is coming in that the CEO of AMD is going to be highlighting the talk of the century. So I guess she got something cooking on the other end of the field, just to say. See, Counter-Strike 1.6 looks better than some of those new games. Total disaster. And what is that about Microsoft and Internet Xbox? Yeah, I think they're thinking about getting rid of the disk drive, and they're just going to go straight SSD. And if you want to, buy the games separately, you'll have to buy them all from Microsoft instead of going to the store and buying them. I think that's what they're thinking about doing, is taking it, the everything out of the big box stores and move it over there to the digital world. So this way, I can see it. Plus, if you're taking and you're saving your all that extra that they have to do to print those CDs and everything else, you know, taking that all out to where you can download the game directly would be more viable and probably a cheaper price too. So that's what I would think. Digital edition, yeah, sure. PlayStation 5 can be inexpensive too. Yeah, they all can be. I mean, if you're going to download a game, it shouldn't cost you over $10. I mean, if you download the game to your PlayStation or your Xbox, it shouldn't cost over $10 a game. But what's more expensive is what's cutting Sony and Microsoft out of the deal is Steam and Epic and all them other ones to where you can play the online games and you don't even need a console to play your games. You don't even need a console. You can connect a joystick up to your PC, download all the games, all the free games you want, and you can just sit here with the joystick all day long. Just like if you got a big Xbox right next to you or a big PlayStation, you really don't need a Sony PlayStation or an Xbox, really. That's if you want to go that route, but if you don't want to go that route, then you're going to be, and later on down the road, sooner or later, you're going to be spending, when they come up with, let's say, PlayStation 10, you're probably going to be paying almost $2,000 for it, compared to me having a $1,300 PC that has about 18 terabytes of hard drive space. 18 terabytes. And has 64 gigs of RAM. Twice the amount of RAM any PlayStation or Xbox ever has. Do the math. Which I have a processor that's 3 times as fast as any PlayStation or Xbox. And I have a graphics card that's 6 times as powerful as the graphics card they got in those consoles. And I can play for the next 5-10 years on this same system without having to go buy something new. By the time they catch up with those consoles to this PC, it would have been close to me. I'm not going to overgesturate this. I'm just going to say about 6 years for those consoles to catch up with this PC. Simple. $429 here for PS5 digital edition. Well, you know what? Yeah. But you figure you're restricted. Now, I want you to hear this. You figure with that Xbox, you're going to be restricted to a lot of things you can't do. If I put Windows 11 in this PC, I can now go and get games from Android, Google Android store. I can go get games from the Google Android store. So I can get free games off of Microsoft. I can get free games from the Android store. I can get free games off of Steam. I can get free games off of Epic if I wanted to go that route, which I don't. I already have my run-in with Epic. I'm not going to have that run-in again. So, and you say, I set my FPS to 90 now. The game runs buttery smooth 60 FPS was possible for PS4 Pro version. Now PS5 not sure. Well, they're saying 120 FPS just to let you know. PS5. But love the stream. Looks great. I guess Sony's servers do the encoding. Yeah, they do. They do. And that's the thing. If something happens to where you can't get on, your account, are you going to be stuck with the brick? See, that's what you have to look at too. Are you going to be stuck with the brick? Pretty much. Jensen said the 4060 Ti is faster than a PS5 already, which is okay if I look at the power consumption. Yeah. Yeah. Well, look, if you get 120 FPS, all day long, be happy with it. I mean, I'd be happy with 120 FPS all day long to play whatever games, and it's just the performance is right there at the top. The graphics look great and everything else. What is there to complain about? There is nothing to complain about. You got the perfect setup. But the only thing I'm going to be not liking is all this digital stuff. That's kind of where, but that's where you're stuck with the PS5 and, your Xbox. Is if they make it all digital and you can't get through the internet onto their system, you're at the mercy of Microsoft and Sony. Which I'm not at the mercy, because my system right here will play any game that they have. Period. So I'm not at the mercy of them. And even if I lose my internet, I still have games that is already loaded into my system. So the way I look at it, I'm not going to go without regardless, because I have a system that I can do that with. So that's how you got to look at it. Yeah, I might have the 4070, and everybody cried, oh, the 4070 ain't as great as it was before. Look, before they come out with the Super Series and everything else, I bought mine 9 months previous to the new Super Series coming out. You think I'm complaining about my 4070? No. I've used it for that long a time and got that much. The performance is still the same when I first bought this. So I cannot beat this card. I beat it so bad with the stick, I thought it would cry uncle, but it didn't. It never crashed. Never. I mean, I pulled the VRAM down to 0 and still played the games. I pulled system RAM all the way down to 0. And it still played games. This computer is a tank. I can't beat that. Yes, basically, marry millions or billions of people do micromanaging every day. Well, I ain't micromanaging. I'm just stating facts. And the fact is, when, these kids, I understand, these young kids, they like playing on these Xbox and these PlayStations. Okay, that's understandable. But what happens when the parents get bothered by the kids because the kids can't play their PlayStation or their Xbox and there's nothing they can do? Now they have to make an effort to take care of their kids for a change. Yeah. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Waiting 9 months to doing nothing is likely worse than paying Well, what do you mean by that? Well, because I used a 5600G with a B450 motherboard with 16 gig of RAM to start my channel. It's later on down the road I decided to upgrade, but I wanted to see what it was like to be on the AMD processor that you only need minimal to have a computer that costs you less than $300. Yeah, it did. Right now, you can get them for $529. That's a fair price because AMD is putting between $500 and $550 for the 7800 XT, which ain't that much better. And you guys can go to whoever's benchmark or whatever. I've done my benchmark. I've done my 900 between the 7800 XT and the 4070, and I'm only getting 1 to 2%. Maximum, depending on what the game is, I might get over 3% more for the 7800 XT. But that's drawing almost 270 watts compared to something drawing 200 watts, period. So there's a big difference there. Now, if they didn't put that little clip on the wattage, Nvidia, if they didn't put that clip on the wattage for the 4070, I guarantee you it would be pulling up to almost 330 watts, close to it. And most likely there will be more 70 series cards. No 5070. Believe it or not, if they don't come up with the 5070, that's fine. You're going to have the 5080s, the 5090s, the 5060s, and even if they come up with the 5050s, that's fine. And the 7800 XT got released later because AMD did not have the resources, the money, and time to make it work. Yeah, I know they didn't, but they did release it. And to think about it, when they did it, and then not too much longer later, they released the 7600 XT just to appeal to the consumer that's buying low budget. And they did admit to the fact of that card was somebody said to me that they thought they seen that AMD made the 7600 XT as a novelty card just to appease to the consumer that buys low budget. Because of the 8700, was it the 8700? Yeah, the iGPU 8700, I think it was. Yeah, the 8700G. Because it was $330 for the 8700G. They wanted to make a lower price card, so they made a $200 and some price card. So they made the 7600 XT, which is cut down from the 7800 XT. It's a cut down from the 7800 XT. So, and that's what was put onto my plate. And I said, okay, well, I already knew that the 7600 XT was a cut down from the 7800 XT, but there is a problem. that the performance on the 7800 XT was almost 30 to 35% higher than the 7600 XT. And another problem, when I found out that the price of the 7800 XT was dipping below $490. So you want me to go buy a card that's close to $300 when I can just spend 170 more or 190 more and go get me a 7800 XT, which gives me 30 to 35% more performance than the 7600 XT with the same amount of VRAM. Think about it. Price to performance, the 7800 XT is better than the 7600 XT. Let's just put it down on the line. So if you go and you spend your money on the 7600 XT, then you're just falling into the hands of AMD saying you're a sucker. So I don't think I'm falling that way. I think Navi 33 is a unique chip, no MCDs, just one of the monolithic chips. Just one monolithic chip. One. Navi 32 for the 7800 XT is a bigger chip. Yeah, it might be a bigger chip, but it's still the same formula format. They're still using the same formula format, and it's still not working. You could say one chip's this size and one chip's this size, but it's what they put inside the chip that makes the difference. If they use the same architecture build for the smaller chip that they use for the bigger chip, and the only thing that they do to make the smaller chip was turn things off in there in order for that to operate on the smaller chip, then guess what? That's all it is. So it's a chopped down, smaller size that they turn things off to where it operates on the same platform, the same field. So it really, it's the structure that's inside the processor, the structure. It's not the silicon it's made on. That's one thing. But it's the structure that's inside it that makes the difference. Let's see. 2.6 gigabytes in Battle Simulator FS17, 8 gigabytes feels massive. Yeah, I think they didn't cut down a bigger chip for that. If the production is good, yield rate is high. They made a chip smaller in the first place. No, they made it off of the same substrate. The ones that they couldn't cut out for the 7800 XT, they probably used it for the 7600 XT. Probably. But you're saying it's not on the same PCB, or not PCB, the same GPU die. Well, who's to say that TSMC doesn't take bits and pieces from other wafer boards and make out, a 7? Who's to say they don't do that? Who's to say they don't cheat? In order for these companies to save money, they cheat. And don't say they don't. Yeah, sure. The architecture is the same. Ada Lovelace leaks suggested in the smallest AD107 die has 16 megs of L2 cache only. it turned out to be 32 megs tops. Yep. You never know. I mean, we're at the mercy of these companies that build these parts for the PC. No matter which way you want to look at it, no matter how you want to cut it, they can take and turn around and give you a GPU die from a different style wafer board, modify it, and give it back to you. China does the same damn thing. They turn around, they modify. Look at what they did with the 4090. They modified it, put it on a new PCB, and said, here you go. Here's an accelerator card for $30,000, $30,000 to $35,000 that they were selling it for. You think Nvidia is the only one that can't make money? Well, they bought the card for $1,600. They turned around, took the GPU die off of it, put it onto a new PCB, made an accelerator card out of it, and said, you want to buy it? It's 35 grand. They did the same thing Nvidia did. So, something to think about. Nvidia watches, TMC, Samsung, Intel, they have plenty of options. Oh yeah, of course they do have plenty of options. Like I said, they don't waste anything when it comes to those wafer boards. They don't waste anything. They might waste about maybe this much of a fragment that they can't use. And that's it. But trust me, they don't waste much. They make it look like to everybody, oh, we waste everything in the whole world. We waste tons of money trying to make GPUs for you, and it's not true. I already talked to a couple people that work in the factories. They say about this much. You might get this much of a sliver. So, Nvidia, yeah. We have to rely on what information they make public. There is no way the regular gamer get to know more than necessary. Yeah, they don't. They won't tell you more than what you need to know. Just enough to fill your mind and fill your heart to make you feel a lot better about your day. That's pretty much all they're giving you. But they don't tell you what's going on in the background. They don't tell you. They don't tell you what you're actually getting. They don't tell you what's on that substrate. They don't tell you. They just say, "Oh, it's this." And so, yeah, AMD and Nvidia just tells a price, and then they see if it gets or not. It's enough for butter and meat. Yeah, it is, basically. If they're getting 99% of that wafer on a sale that's going on to GPUs, making those PCBs, and they're getting 99% of it, and they're only losing 1%. They're not losing that much. Maybe $5,000, maybe. But that's in a batch. That's a batch of who knows how many. If their overhead, let's say their overhead's about, to make 100,000 GPUs, their overhead's about maybe $60,000. But they can get it cut down to like $38,000. And then they turn around and sell the GPUs for $2,000 each. Do your math. Of 200,000 GPUs, at $2,000 a pop is how much? Do your math. I do not give too many cares, I guess. I mean, what I'm supposed to do. I will not count 18.9 billion transistors under the microscope. Well, that's the reason why they have computers that are designed to make computer parts. You think that somebody actually sits there and does that every day? Maybe in China. But there are some other places they got a computer that does all that for them. They just got people that QC check the parts to make sure they're quality controlled. That's how it works now these days. So this is worth some mopeds. Well, it's got to be worth something. Well, AMD tried that with AMD Bulldozer. Yeah, and they failed. They failed miserably with Bulldozer. So, can't help if they fail. You only can help if they succeed. The only way they're going to succeed is they stop giving refreshed products to the consumers and start making something new for a change. They haven't made nothing new for over 25 years. Everybody's been getting refreshes for over 25 years. Just refresh after refresh. That's all it is. Doing the same thing Microsoft did when they first started Windows 95. They refreshed the apps and they made it Windows 98. Then they refreshed it again. Then they went to Windows XP. Then refreshed it again to Windows Me or Windows 2000 or whatever. You know, it just kept going and going and going. That's all they've been doing. They need to come up with something new. Something, and like I told you all before, and I'm going to say it again, if they're only giving you, right here, watch my hands. You got right here, 0 performance, 3%, 5%, 7%, 100%. If a new generation is just starting out, you should be going from the 100% mark of the last generation to the 100% mark of the next generation. They haven't done that yet. They haven't done that for over 25 years. And I've been watching. It's been diminishing slowly. Now they're down to like maybe 1 to 3%. Yeah. All right. Some technicians said they could have chopped out 20% die size, or if made manually. That was computer made. Yeah, they could. They can chop as much as they want out, and they give you like they've been doing. That's the reason why they come up with the chiplet design. The chiplet design was from the wafer board that they had extra chips that they come up with that design, and they used those extra chips that they had left over to put on to certain processors to make new chiplet designs. And are slowly finding out that chiplet design is starting to fail. So, then they got some Indian guy, and he made Ryzen. Happy end. Yeah, and he moved on to a different company. Yeah, we know that. I've seen that. Yeah, this is diminishing returns. The architecture were okay already. CPU L2 cache is fast as frick for like 40 years. No, believe it or not, we're only at 1/4 of the speed. And I tried to tell you that long while back. As long as we're still sitting on a 32-bit architecture, long as we're still on that 32x2 bit architecture to give us 64-bit, we're still riding off of that 32-bit that we've been riding off ever since, what was it, Windows 98. So, really? So we're still riding off that same architecture from Windows 98. Come on, man. I mean, what has changed? Microsoft should have moved us up to 128-bit by now. We should have been sitting at 128 bits for Windows, period. Windows 11 should have been 128-bit. No, it's 64-bit. We're still riding off the 32x2 when it comes to the Windows software. They haven't made any improvements. Now, if they did on Windows 12 and they said, okay, well, Windows 12 is a whole new architecture. Now we're going up to 128-bit, but then that means you're going to have to get a whole new processor for your computer in order to get the 128-bit. That means you're going to have AMD, Intel scrambling like crazy trying to come up with a 128-bit processor. A 64x2 processor. Well, the only thing that matters is earning money. 100%. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, they're earning money, yeah. But they're going to keep us at a stalemate, and we're going to be stuck on this same architecture for the next 20 years. When they should have broke the chain and started us on the new architecture for 128-bit for Microsoft and put those companies scrambling for the 128-bit processors. You want to know how fast 128-bit is on your CPU compared to the 32x2 that we're using right now? Every one of our processors are still using that 32x2 formula. AMD and Intel, they don't tell you that. I just do not see any problem anymore. The stuff I do is running great. Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to run great for you. I understand that. I respect that. Most people will buy less GPUs if they're no more pro. Right? Right, but the thing is this, they're spending their money and, on something, but they're looking for the Holy Grail. When AMD and Intel are keeping us at bay just with the matter of the amount of bits that are on your processor. I don't know, man. I mean, I would rather have a 128-bit Windows compared to a 64. I cannot follow in my mind what a CPU does all the time. Modern games ask for 100,000 things at the same time, and the processor handles all that. Yeah, but the problem is they're going to start running out of numbers. This is one reason what happened in the year 2000 is they started running out of numbers. But that's going to happen again real soon. They're going to start running out of numbers again. Your computer might be only invested to $21.99 or $20.99, $21.99, somewhere in there. So after that, what happens? You're going to end up having to move the bit from 32 to 64, from 64 to 128. That's what they had to do before. So, something to think about. Something they should have been doing in the first place. They should have put us at 128-bit for Windows 11. It might not be till Windows 13 we might see that. Might be Windows 14. Might be another 20 years before that even happens. So, it all depends. It's all nothing but a money game. And that's all they're playing right now is the money game. So, as long as they keep playing the money game and not thinking about their consumers, the consumers are going to keep on buying regardless because they know they need it. And that's the reason why. These companies know that the consumer needs it. They're going to keep buying. Because once they stop buying from that company, after 6 months to a year, that company died. Not a lot of people want to see that happen, so they're going to keep that company alive. They're going to keep buying, keep buying, keep buying, keep that company alive. That old philosophy is just going to keep going. Windows 14 must be fake because 10 was the last operating system that Microsoft ever released. Yeah, it is. Windows 10 is just an update to Windows 11. Architecture is the same. It went from Windows 7 to Windows 8 to Windows 8.1 to Windows 9, but they skipped 9 and went to Windows 10. And then Windows 11 is a branch off from Windows 11 is a branch off from Windows 10. Just with new apps, and that's all it is. Pretty much with them putting little triggers in there, you know, to keep people with older hardware from loading in Windows 11. But now they figured, well, now they're getting around that. What's next? But with the new 24H2 that's coming out, that's going to be coming out September or October this year, you can't get around that. You can't get around that. That's something you can't get around. Only way you can get around it is if you get a processor that supports but that's pretty much it. It's all fake and we know it. And we say it. I still feel like I do not know enough to make a better myself. Make it better myself. Yeah, well, nobody does, man. Nobody has that answer. Nobody knows that answer. Somebody could say, oh, I know the answer. Here's the answer. But somebody come right behind them and say, oh, I got one better. And then somebody come behind them and say, I got one better. And then, you know, go on and on and on and on. Nobody has the right answer. It's facts. Simple facts. Nobody has the right answer. It's just opinions on top of facts, on top of opinions, on top of facts. So, yeah, like you said, it's all opinions. And some opinions could be fake, and some opinions could be real. So, but in the truth and reality of it, who knows? No one knows the real answer. There is no real answer. But when it comes to building PCs, these companies got really good in doing refresh updates. They have not yet, in over 20 plus years, come up with something new. Everybody thinks, oh, Ryzen was something new. Actually, it wasn't. Actually, when Ryzen came out, it was just it's just blown up a quad core from the Black series of the Athlon 64. So, like I said, nothing new. So, that's just my opinion. You can take my opinion with a grain of salt, or you can take it and believe it, whatever. That's up to you. I'm not telling you either which way. That is totally up to you. All I can do is tell you my experience from day one to today. And it's getting close to 36 years I've been doing this. So to keep all that information up here in my head, that's a lot of information. And you could hear everybody running around in their underwear and saying to him, you don't know how to build a PC. You know, I had one person one time told me, they don't believe me. They don't believe I can build a PC. This was back years ago. I said, okay, you don't believe I can't build a PC. So I put all the parts right in front of them and said, have a seat, and you're going to watch me build a whole PC. So I turned around, boom, put it all together. Just whoosh, put it together. Put the operating system in. Windows 95. Whoosh, loads up. Not a problem. Not a lick of problem. It said, okay, go play that game right there. They sat on there for 16 hours playing that frickin' game. And it was a card game, too. 16 hours playing that card game. Ugh. And by the time they got done, they were a believer. So, well, you know the entire history. Yeah, pretty much. I was just wondering. Oh, I can tell you. It hurts your head sometimes having all the information in your head, but you said it, I've said it sometimes. Nobody knows everything. I'm not that perfect. I don't know everything when it comes to PC building. There's always something out there that I might not know that somebody else knows that I'm willing to learn. So, you know, it's not a bad thing. So at least I got enough information in my head to put a PC together, at least. Any game is better than bots. Oh, I agree. I agree 100%. Any game can be better than the bots. But back years ago, that's what you had to play was the bots. Until they come up with the online gaming, then that became a whole different thing. Where they created a 1D world. 1D. And everybody says, well, isn't it 3D? You have a 1D world, you have a 2D world, and you have a 3D world. Okay. And now they're coming up with a 4D world, a 5D world, and a 6D world. So that's amazing stuff. And how they're going to come up with that, I have no idea. So they can come up with whatever they want. All I do is I experience it, and I YouTube it, and I tell you all about it. Just like I'm telling you all about this. When it comes to Nvidia app, that's what it was all about in the whole beginning. But, you know, we've been on this soap tube for a couple hours now. I'm going to go ahead and call it right here. And I hope y'all had a fun time with me. Let's see. Before I do this, try playing Monopoly. Best games happen at World Championships because everyone knows the rules. Yeah, can't cheat. But anyway, I hope y'all had a fun time right here on the channel with me. And I hope y'all come back next Saturday as well, and we'll do it all again.
Right here on JJ's PC Builds.
Yeah, like he said. But anyway, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, welcome to the family. Welcome to JJ's PC Builds. And my veteran subscribers, as always, much love to you for all that you do, helping support the channel, telling your friends to come on down here, and subscribing, and watching videos from beginning to end. It does help. Video. No.
Video.
Video. Machine, you have a great day too. MTBK, you have a great day as well. I'm going to jump out of here. If you like the live stream, give a thumbs up. If you like my videos, give them a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. It helps to build the channel when you put a thumbs up on the videos. I know I only get like maybe 8 or 10 on a video, but it helps when you put more than 8 and 10 onto a video. Okay? Just saying. But anyway, until the next time, in the next video, we will see you on the next one.